Hey yarn friends, welcome back to LlamaMamaKayla's Yarn Tube. I'm your host Kayla, and today I wanted to share with you an update on the Walmart yarn fail. Excuse me. First and foremost, I want to say that we have been doing the online grocery shopping here for a good little while now. I don't know exactly how long, but I have no complaints about that whatsoever. They have been great. Our groceries, I've been really pleased with them. The few things they have substituted have been, great. Most of it's been like a better buy, and they charge the same price, even if the product that you had actually ordered was cheaper. Like for example, I do have this on hand. For example, I ordered these little cans of cashew nuts. They're an off-brand. It's just a little off-brand can. It's only probably about that tall and about that big around. I mean, it's a small little can. And they're $2 for cashew nuts. And so I always, when I'm in the store, I would always pick those up. So a couple of times ago, I had ordered 2 cans of those, one for me and one to have here at my desk, and one for Jody to have back by his recliner. It's just for a little snacky snack, And they did not have those in, which I don't understand. Like, why is it available for you to pick it if it's not actually in the store when they go to get it? Probably because they just couldn't find it. But anyway, they were out of those, and so they substituted these this big thing of cashew nuts, the 12 ounce, instead of like the other was probably like a 2 ounce, where it was $2 and these were like $12. So I was like, what? But anyway, when they do substitute some, it's always like a better deal, and they still charge you the price that you had originally was purchasing. So I have no complaints whatsoever on the grocery pickup. It's been wonderful. Then all of a sudden one day I threw in some yarn because I had bought some yarn from there before. I had bought some orange. I think I had bought like 3 skeins of this orange, and so whenever they got my groceries, they got the 3 skeins of that red heart orange. And so that particular day, I don't know why, I just clicked on the yarn, and I seen that they had some yarn like for $1. And I was like, oh yeah. And so I clicked on those, and turns out I guess they couldn't find them in the store, and so they substituted. But from what I understand, maybe the computer just substitutes and tells the person what to pick. The person didn't actually go and pick these colors, but you have to go back and watch the video. It was like, oh gosh, some crazy colors and substitutions for this yarn. And you do have the option to opt out of substituting your products, whether it be groceries, yarn, whatever else in the store you buy. But I didn't click that. And so they sent some, none of the yarn that I ordered, I think, was in stock. And so they just sent like crazy amounts of mixed match yarn. Like some cakes they might have sent, like if I ordered 4 of these cakes, they might have sent 2 of this yarn and 2 of this yarn to equal 1 cake, 2 of this yarn and 2 of a different yarn to equal another cake. I don't know. It was just crazy, and it was just colors that did not really match that cake that I originally ordered. So I was not happy with that. I mean, I probably just would have went with the flow, because I mean, it didn't like make me mad or anything like that. I thought it was pretty hilarious, the colors that were picked to substitute the colors of the cake that I originally had ordered. That's why I made the video, because I thought it was hilarious. Not that I was just mad or outraged or anything like that. And I did say that several times in the video, that, I just thought it was hilarious that this is the colors they picked. Now, I probably just would have kept those yarns and just went with the flow, because I didn't order the yarns for a particular project. It was just, they were $1, so I ordered them. Okay. Saying all that to say that at the end of that video, then what I did was I just happened to go back and click on the online order to review my order. And when I had originally had done the grocery thing, I was just trying to stay within my budget, and I was trying to keep that grocery order around $200. And I went over a tiny bit, like maybe $20 or $25 over, something like that. And then, then I checked out and paid and all that. Okay, so Elijah picked the order up, and they had showed that they had substituted some Red Heart yarn for this Red Heart mainstay, which was fine. It wasn't that big a deal. And then, but they didn't go through all the yarn that they had substituted, or she would have been out there for a good long time. But anyway, he just, said that was fine, whatever. And so, and they don't show you, like, you don't go over the amount you paid again when you're picking up groceries. You've already paid that. And so your price doesn't change normally. Well, when I was at the end of that video, then I just happened to go back and look at the online order, and I was just like, wait a minute, because my total was like $295. And that was a lot closer to $300 than I wanted to be. I wanted to be way closer to $200. And so then I scrolled down and looked, and they had substituted some food and substituted all that yarn. Some of the yarn they substituted, they kept it at the same price that I had originally picked yarn for. And some of it, they ended up charging the new price. And so it was making some of that yarn like, $20 for this yarn that they substituted. That is the color that I didn't pick or actually need for a project at the moment. Some of it was like, $10, $13, $9. It was a lot of different little, like 2 or 3 skeins of this yarn equaled like $10. 2 or 3 skeins of this yarn equaled another $10. And it was several of those on there. And so it, like I said, it made my price go up to $295, which I was not cool with. And so I was just like, wait a minute now. We got to do something about this. So I tried to go online that night and say that, I was not happy with that yarn purchase, because it gives you the little things to do that. But then it went so far, and then it said to call this number, and it gave a number. So I wrote that number down and left it on the computer. So the next day, I believe it was a Saturday, but anyway, it was a corporate number. So I went ahead and called them, and this guy answered the phone, and gosh, I can't even remember his name now, but he was super, super nice, pleasant, more than happy to work with me. And so I started telling him, that I had placed an online grocery order and just threw in some yarn with it, but they did not have that yarn, and so they substituted, and that, they substituted with yarn that I did not order, and it was colors that I didn't need for a project, that I had in mind or anything like that. And so I was trying to explain that to him. He's like, okay, so you didn't like the yarn that they substituted? And I said, no, sir. It just didn't even match the colors of the cakes that I originally ordered. And he was like, okay, that's fine, that's fine. He's like, so we're just going to refund all the yarn that you purchased. And he was like, super, super helpful, very nice, very pleasant, just very fast. And he just starts refunding yarn, and he's like, okay, so I'm refunding 22 skeins of yarn. And he said, is that correct? And I said, well, I haven't counted it, but it was a lot of yarn. He said, well, you had 22 skeins of yarn on your order, so that's what I'm refunding. And so I was like, okay. So I didn't really even get to explain to him that about the price thing, because it just all went so fast, and he did his thing and it was over, so it was pointless. And he did say, can I help you with anything else today? But I told him thank you and just hung up with him. And then I checked my email to make sure, and he had said, and the email said, to just keep the products. But I myself felt like that's 22 skeins of yarn. And so the email said something, excuse me, the email said something about we've refunded these items. Feel free to keep these items disposed of, or something like that. I can't remember exactly what all it said. But, you know, it was 22 things of yarn. So I did take the yarn back up to Walmart and tried to refund it, and they would not refund. I mean, not try to refund it, try to just turn it in because I'd already got a refund on it, and they would not take the yarn without giving me a refund. And I said, well, I've already been refunded. And I couldn't get it through this little girl's head. It was actually two ladies working the return counter, and I explained to them, you know, what happened and that I already had called corporate and they refunded my money already, and I just needed to turn the yarn in, but they wouldn't accept the yarn. And so I, you know, was just going back and forth with them, like, you know, I've already been refunded for the yarn, so the yarn is not mine. The yarn belongs to Walmart. And they just kept telling me no, that I had to keep the yarn, that they wouldn't take it back. I don't know. It's just yarn. It's not like it was a food product or medication or, you know, anything like for a reason why people couldn't reuse it. I mean, it was brand new skeins that I've not pulled any yarn out of. The labels were on them and everything. And so, except maybe the one or two that had a label torn off when I received it. But anyway, they wouldn't take the yarn back. And so I brought it all back home. So I'm slowly but surely, I'm going to use that yarn in different projects and stuff. I don't know. It's just, I just never dreamed that they wouldn't take it back. But that was the deal. So anyway, this is my Walmart fail yarn update, and I do appreciate Walmart for being so prompt in taking care of it and refunding my money. I mean, it was just, you know, they were very, very professional in handling that and everything. I did feel like the guy worked a little fast and didn't let me say the whole spiel, because I didn't get to tell him that they actually charged me too much for that yarn, that they didn't keep it at the same price as the yarn I'd ordered. But since he was refunding it anyway, it really didn't matter that I said that. So that's the yarn story. And sorry this video is taking so long to get back up. I wanted to make sure that my card was refunded before I took the yarn back to Walmart, and so I had to wait for that to go through and process and all that, and then tried to go to Walmart. Okay guys, but thanks for watching, and I will see you all again very soon.